I grew up in Ringsend, a small working class suburb in Dublin. I lived in a one-bedroom council flat with my parents on the third balcony, number 32B. As a child, my time was divided between practicing Spice Girl routines whilst the neighbours watched and cheered us on, or playing massive games of hide and seek with kids running amok and shouting like maniacs. The feeling of a real community was alive and well in my village. It seems to me that the less you have, the more you give, and that was certainly true of Ringsend. My life started to deviate from the supposed norm of Ringsend by the time I hit puberty. My mother and father decided to send me to a private school. They wanted me to be the first person in my family to go to college. I suddenly found myself in a world of affluency, a world I'd never seen before. My walk to school now included the granite paved and tree-lined streets of Waterloo Road and the embassy-lined Aylesbury Road. I often felt like a fraud, peering into 4-storey private homes with luxury cars parked outside. These feelings were only heightened upon entering the school building. From the very first day in my new school, I didn't fit in. For starters, I wasn't even wearing the right shoes. Dewberries, or deck shoes as they're also known, are the unofficial shoes of most private schools. At €100 a pop, and usually reserved for those who are on a boat, it was impossible for my parents to understand that I desperately needed them. I was constantly made fun of in this school, based on what I didn't have and what they did. Back in Ringsend, I was quickly excommunicated from my old clan for being too posh, or thinking that I was better than everyone. I met my first boyfriend at school. He was the son of 2 barristers who lived in a mansion in Sydney Parade and drove a massive BMW. I would spend most of my time in his house because his parents didn't want him in my rough neighbourhood, and they would say this right in front of me. Grown adults, people of the law no less, who should have had enough cop on than to fill their children's head with such discriminatory rhetoric. My accent started to change as I began to adapt myself to my surroundings, chameleon-like. I had one accent for when I was visiting my family and another for when I was visiting new friends' parents. I eventually grew out of caring what others thought about me based on where I was from. But even to this day, when I tell some people that I'm from Ringsend, they're surprised. Probably because I'm an eloquent and open-minded person. And maybe they're really narrow-minded. My experience as a kid has shown me how dangerous stereotyping is. How we as a society feel the need to be above or below others.